Skelzor, my co-host here, my partner, my friend.
Hello there.
I have a thought exercise for you, alright?
Alright, let's go for it.
I want you to imagine an alien race. This race is highly religious, very proud, incredibly wealthy, and they've got technologies that far outmatch humanity's own. They operate under a rigid caste structure with tightly woven internal politics, and the combination of all of this has put them in a position where both their discipline and their arrogance has led them to viewing themselves as a sort of curator of the galaxy, the ones who have done the work and deserve to be in charge. At the heart of all of it lies their burning desire to seek out and understand these relics scattered all across space. Relics from an unknowably ancient race whose purposes can only be theorized. The search, and in fact the artifacts themselves, form the core of their religion, to the point where everything they do is in service of these unknown beings. They clash with humanity in a surprise attack with absolutely no known cause. And what comes next is this lopsided war where these aliens have just the upper hand at every single turn. But why they're fighting us only really becomes clear as the story unravels and we learn more about the secrets they're keeping and also that the galaxy at large is holding. So, who am I talking about?
Well, you've described the Covenant, more or less.
That's right, it's the Protoss from StarCraft.
Oh.
Good on you, Skel.
Oh no.
Hey everybody, it's time for Halo 2, and we're here again at Cooperative Conversations to talk about Halo 2, like I just said. And
Well,
Halo
wait,
2...
I thought we were talking about StarCraft.
Well, Halo 2 has a lot going on. And first, we're gonna be playing... not this one, I don't know how this keeps happening. Alright,
It's a mystery.
there we go.
Oh, that's much more swish, isn't it?
Yeah, very new. So yeah, we are gonna hop into Halo 2 here real soon. I just want to get some stuff out of the way first, because there's approximately 10 hours of cutscene to get through. So we're gonna do some clerical work here in the beginning. We're once again playing, of course, the Master Chief Collection. We will play, like before, classic graphics. We'll go back and look at the anniversary treatment later. And we are going to be playing this one on normal, just because Halo 2's heroic is basically legendary in any other game, and that, coupled with Skelzor's own latency and input lag from the way Master Chief Collection handles co-op, is... he's on the other side of the world for me, like literally perfectly the other side of the world.
It's less than ideal, and Halo 2 easily the most difficult game in the series on Legendary, and like you'll see what we're talking about when we get further in. We'll discuss it.
Nothing quite like one-hit kill, hit-scan enemies.
You better know where they are before they show up. But yeah, Halo 2, there's a lot more cutscene, there's a lot more story, there's a lot more to chew into, so we've got a lot more to go over before we begin.
Yeah, Halo 2's kind of like the one time in the entire series Bungie, like, knuckled down and tried to actually tell their story to the player. And apparently people fucking hated it.
Yeah! It's... Again, you're gonna keep hearing this as the series goes on. We'll get to... there's stuff we'll get to later, right? It's like... there's... But Halo 2 is, of the series, story-wise, probably my favorite.
Oh, I think Halo 2 is probably my favorite of the first three.
I prefer Halo 3, but that's more the gameplay side of things.
That's fair. I think Halo 2 is very good. And we have a lot to talk about, so I don't want to waste a whole lot more time. So I'm just going to hit this button, and we will get to it. So see ya after this. So what's this?
Impressive handiwork.
It's like ships... A location title card! We know where we are!
Context!
establishing shots? In my Halo game?
There was only one ship.
It's almost like they're directing the cutscenes now.
Are you sure?
Yes, they called it the Pillar of Autumn.
Why was it not destroyed with the rest of their fleet?
It fled as we set fire to their planet. But I followed with all the ships in my command.
When you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty?
Blinded?
Paralyzed? Dumbstruck?
No.
Yet the humans were able to evade your ships, land on the sacred ring, and desecrate it with their filthy footsteps.
Noble hierarchs, surely you understand that once the parasite attacked,
There will be order in this council.
You were right to focus your attention on the Flood. But this demon, this Master Chief...
by the time I learned the demon's intent, there was nothing I could do.
After truth, this has gone on long enough. Make an example of this bungler. The Council demands it.
You are one of our most treasured instruments. Long have you led your fleet with honor and distinction. But your inability to safeguard Halo was a colossal failure.
Nay, it was heresy.
I will continue my campaign against the humans.
No, you will not. Soon the great journey shall begin. But when it does, the weight of your heresy will stay your feet, and you shall be left behind.
The plating was about to fail. There's viscosity throughout the gel layer. Optics, totally fried. And let's not even talk about the power supply. You know how expensive this gear is, son?
Tell that to the Covenant.
Well, I guess it was all obsolete anyway. Your new suit's a Mark 6, just came up from Songnam this morning. Try and take it easy until you get used to the upgrades. Okay, let's test your targeting first thing. Please look at the top light.
What if I don't want to look at the top light?
Good. Now look at the bottom light. Alright, look at the top light again. That's it. Now the bottom one. Okay. Tracking looks sketchy. I'm gonna run you through the full diagnostic. The diagnostic software sets your targeting system to be normal. Go ahead and look at each of the 4 lights. You want me to leave it like that or make it inverted? I'll leave your targeting set to normal. If you change your mind, you can switch the setting anytime. Stand by. I'm gonna offline the inhibitors. Move around a little. Get a feel for it. When you're ready, come meet me by the zapper.
So a little intermission here as we do this tutorial. Don't want to spend too much time here, but look, we have like a cool location. This is already more interesting than anything we saw in the Pillar of Autumn. It's also a little more finished looking. Halo 2 looks considerably better than Halo 1. Still not particularly great for the time, because of course this game came out the same year as Half-Life 2, and like, interesting.
Pay attention, because I'm only going over this
Well,
once. This station will
Again,
test your
we'll go into that a little
recharging
later,
energy
but
shields.
there's
Step
some
on in, I'll
stuff
show
about
you.
this game's release on the original Xbox that is worth mentioning.
Are you listening to me? Over here, Chief. Focus. Your new armor shields are extremely resilient, very efficient. Much better than the Covenant tech we used for the Mark V. Bingo! As you can see, they recharge a lot faster. If your shields go down, find some cover, wait for the meter to read fully charged.
That, or he can hide behind me. You done with my boy here, Master Guns? I don't see any training wheels.
His armor's working fine, Johnson, so shut your chilly hole. You're free to go, son. Just remember, take things slow.
Don't worry, I'll hold his hand.
So, Johnson, when you gonna tell me how you made it back home in one piece?
Sorry, Guns. It's classified.
My ass! Well, you can forget about those adjustments to your A2 scope.
Well, he's in a particularly fine mood. Maybe Lord Hood didn't give him an invitation.
And speaking of Half-Life, I believe we're about to get on a tram and listen to some dialogue.
Oh, we sure are. But yeah, I was gonna say, there's you can see the sort of like Half-Life DNA
But I
really
should
like
for basic.
growing
The orbital defense
and
grid was
influencing
all
more of the
theory
game.
and politics.
Yeah,
Now look,
of course, now Johnson is
Cairo
like
just
actually
one of
talking to us about the
300
world.
geosync platforms.
Mm.
That Mac gun can put a round clean through a Covenant capital ship.
It's amazing what giving information to the player can do
Coordinated
for your
fire from
world
the
and
Athens
story.
and the Malta, nothing's getting past this battle cluster in one piece.
I mean, he's even pointing out our physical relation to the other stations.
The ship's
Although I
been arriving
do
all morning.
question the necessity of
Nobody's saying much, but
just
I'll bet something
millions
big's about to happen.
of massive windows on an orbital defense platform.
They might not be glass, you don't know. Cheering crowd.
You told me there wouldn't be any cameras.
And you told me you were gonna wear something nice. Folks need heroes, Chief. Give them hope. So smile, would you? Well, we still got something to smile about.
Drawn quite a crowd. If they came to hear me beg, they will be disappointed. Are you sure?
Gentlemen, we're lucky to have you back. Go ahead, Cortana.
Another whisper, sir, near Io. We have probes en route.
I apologize, but we're going to have to make this quick.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Sergeant Major, the Colonial Cross is awarded for acts of singular daring and devotion. For a soldier of the United Earth Space Corps.
There can be no greater heresy. Let him be an example for all who would break our covenant.
Commander Miranda Keyes, your father's actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service. His bravery in the face of impossible odds reflects great credit upon himself and the UNSC. The Navy has lost one of its best.
Slip space ruptures directly off our battle cluster.
Show me.
15 Covenant capital ships holding position just outside the kill zone.
This is Fleet Admiral Harper. We are engaging the enemy.
Negative, Admiral. Form a defensive perimeter around the cluster. Commander, get to your ship. Link up with the fleet.
Yes, sir.
You have the Mac gun, Cortana. As soon as they come in range, open up.
Gladly.
Something's not right. The fleet that destroyed Reach was 50 times this size.
Sir, additional contacts. Boarding craft and lots of them.
They're going to try to take our Mac guns offline. Give their capital ships a straight shot at Earth. Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
And
Well,
we're in.
Chief,
that was fun.
did you kill all those things?
Yeah.
That would really be awesome.
So there's a lot to unpack, as always.
All hands, report to
But here we are, defending the station. We need a weapon.
Yeah. Again, now that we're under attack, I feel like having these windows is a bad idea. But...
Yeah, we need to get a new contractor for these battle stations.
Sealed pressure doors.
So
look, we don't have to go and do the level and then get a weapon and do it backwards. Here we are, weapon station. And for a defensive platform, having weapon stations easily accessible,
Open weapons
maybe a good idea?
for repelling borders, absolutely. So we come to our first new big whiz-bang feature that is featured in the Halo 2. Master Chief realized between games that he has two hands.
Oh my god.
2 hands, 2 guns. You can shoot 2 people once or 1 person twice.
Amazing. Ow, my body.
So also, yeah, the shields we should mention. So the health is gone.
Health is gone. Halo 2 has fallen prey to what everybody in the FPS developer industry learned from Halo 1, which was regenerating health is where it's at.
Yeah. So the thing about that is that we'll move along as we'll walk and talk.
How's it going, Stand by.
There is a hidden health.
Check your targets. Watch the crossfire.
Like meter thing.
They're
you
in
can take a
standard
little bit of
formation.
damage,
Little
but
bastards
not
up front,
much.
big ones in back.
Once you lose your
Yeah.
shield.
Look, Cairo.
Way less than Halo 1.
I mean, on the one hand, it does solve a lot of Halo 1's problems if, like, you go to a Covenant location and you don't have health
As soon as that door
ever,
opens,
but
It also makes you die faster.
yeah. And I think part of that is why Halo 2 is the hardest game in the series, because Bungie didn't really understand how to balance for that quite yet.
But there was another example of like Bungie really upping their game. The Covenant breaching through this door, making entry as we're defending it. Like Halo 2 is a game that Bungie really went all in a lot of ways. Not just like narrative, scripting, graphics, and I'll talk about the graphics later. You probably, if you got a good ear, if you know your celebrities, whoever's watching this, the cutscene that preceded this gameplay segment, a lot of the people that were talking, that there was some pretty big names with speaking roles in those cutscenes. You got Keith David, you got Terrence Stamp, I believe his name is. Yeah.
Sure.
Ron Perlman as Lord Hood.
Yeah. Looking better in this game than he will in the next one.
You can even hear Ron Perlman over the intercom announcements.
Yeah.
As we're being,
And hopefully my subtitling work is doing some amount of good here, because Halo 2 does not have native subtitles, and I am trying my best.
Oh, hey, check this out. They've set this up for the encounter.
Oh, look at that. But, like, already, again, this is so much more interesting than the Pillar of Autumn. We went through a couple hallways so far, but now we're here in, like, some sort of little atrium.
Like, they've set up much more interesting little set pieces, right? It's not just corridors with dudes in them.
Yeah. And that's going to get into something Halo 2 does very well. The encounters are going to be a bit shorter overall, but they're just so much better planned.
Yep.
They have a lot more going on in them.
But we should also probably stop and take a look once we've finished off these enemies. It's a bit like, they chain the encounters together too, which is really smart for pacing. But we can take a look at the new grunt model.
Oh yeah, they've a lot of things lost their metallic texture from Halo 1 to 2. The grunts are one of them. And they also, I don't think the rounded grunt armor makes a reappearance in the entire series.
No, they have this like weird, you might see it later, but they have like weird other grunt armor. The elites, there's a lot more definition. It's a lot clearer that they're wearing armor, and like what's the bodysuit, what's the armor, what's the face, etc.
Yeah.
So it's worth noting.
The elites did keep their metallic stuff.
Yes. So it's worth noting for the viewer that Halo 2 released on the original Xbox as well. So this is on the same console as the game that we just got done playing, right?
Yeah.
And while it might not be as mind-blowing as its contemporaries, Half-Life 2 and so on, it's certainly very impressive in terms of like a visual upgrade over the other game.
Boarding craft, they'll just keep sending reinforcements.
See, we're getting carried along.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Not allowed to... Whoa, hi.
But,
Wait, it teleported me further away from you. I was... Okay.
So yeah, the co-op teleporting is still wacky as ever. Oh, here we go.
And, oh, what's this? Another new combat location?
And it's not just a combat location. This is a hangar for pelicans.
Yeah, we can tell what this is for. We can tell what usually goes on here. It's great. This is great.
There's physics objects. We should point that out too. Check it out.
I mean, as soon as I'm done fighting these people trying to kill me.
Yeah, Halo 1 had physics, but there's like physics objects.
Halo 1 had physics for its like guns,
weapons, and
but
some bodies sometimes. But yeah, we're even this shield. If I actually use a grenade on it, back up.
We won.
Oh, hang on. There's a way to get this to tip over, if I remember correctly. Like,
well,
even
that's not important. We don't want to spend too much time.
No, we don't. But I just want to point out that like even stuff like that.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, that's bad. We needed that.
That is bad. Oh, we're under attack again.
All hands, brace for impact.
So yeah, again, we're playing on normal, but the elites are also far less resilient in 2, like the basic ones are, than they were in 1.
Right, there is better differentiation between the ranks now.
Yes, there is.
So I've used these dual wields for a little bit. I'm going to use this weapon, which is the battle rifle. It is a precision 3-shot burst weapon. It replaces the assault rifle. I'm ambivalent about it, honestly. I have.
But it's the new weapon, right? It's the new pistol. It's same role.
Textbook.
Did we get him? Up. There's more.
So even though we are still fighting grunts and elites, just like in Pillar of Autumn, just like in the first game, more is happening. More is being done with them.
For example, over here, look.
Uh-oh. Hey, they're leaving the Athens.
Oh, that's bad.
Cortana, assessment.
That explosion came from inside the Athens, same as the Malta. The Covenant must have brought something with them. A bomb.
Then they sure as hell brought one here. Chief, find it.
Our objectives are way more interesting right off the bat. Defend the station. Oh, they're blowing us up with bombs brought like into the stations.
Yeah, that's.
There's verticality in the combat encounters. Like, again, like I said, they went all in for Halo 2.
And not to say that Halo 2 didn't also have its own fair share of rocky development.
Yeah,
that's pretty well documented, but I think Halo 2 just did so much more with what it had. It's just so much of a better game.
And I'm gonna keep bringing this up. This is on the same console as Halo 1.
Yep.
Like, it's...
Oh look, it's the tutorial room. We're back.
So we've just looped around. So now we have an idea of like where we are, where we went.
Hang on, everyone.
We do see our first like reused room, but now there are more enemies. It's like, okay, you've had your time getting used to what's going on. Now there are more enemies here. We have there's a Covenant turret, energy turret. That's interesting.
Yeah. Almost like the boarding party is setting up defensive lines as they work their way through the station. So, you know, we're getting context for what the enemy is actually doing. They're not just piling out of monster closets.
Yeah. Now, every Halo game pretty much has its you have to escape the area at the beginning of the game. But Halo 2's is just such a step up, right? This is great.
You can tell, A, they knew what they were making from the start, because Halo 2 was always an FPS, and B, that they really learned from their experience with Halo 1.
Yeah.
Come on, Chief, this way.
I love this area. We'll talk about it once this guy's done.
We're on it.
So we've met back up
Thanks,
with
Chief.
Johnson and Miranda.
Yep. So, this area is great because we met back up with them. Look, they're trying to board Miranda's frigate.
I'll cover the commander.
Yeah.
So,
That's
like,
great.
that they're not just here hanging out so we can be like, oh, it's them. They actually have a reason to be here, and we're helping them out.
I got another contact.
All hands, we are abandoning the station.
It's great, right? Like, compared to, like, hey, walk through these corridors, get off the ship.
Yeah, like, that is still our goal, but it's just done so much better.
There's this.
This is so interesting.
The sound changed.
Sound changed. We're outside now.
We're in space. Don't ask how we're sticking to the station.
Magnetic boots, I imagine. Like, this is a... The guy said our armor's very expensive, you know. Presumably...
It could also be that the station's artificial gravity extends to the outside as well, just because these containers are sitting here, no problemo.
Yeah, that's true.
Readable text, kinda, on these crates. I mean, there was readable text in one, but like there's more of it here.
The fire control center. They have a bomb.
Can you defuse it?
Yes, but I'll need the chief's help to make
Look at this,
contact.
elites that fly.
Chief,
Yeah, a new
get
enemy
to the bomb, double time.
In the first
Cortana,
level.
prioritize targets and fire at will.
And not
New
even...
mechanics, new enemy types, yeah.
And not even that, like...
First echelon, you're with me. Blanket those cruisers. Take them out
They
one
do
by
a whole
one.
lot more,
Second
because
echelon,
we don't
keep
see a
those
lot of those
carriers
jetpack
busy.
elites until a lot later.
All hostile vessels
But they're sprinkled throughout the game,
13 cruisers, 2
and they're just a
I'm going
fun
loud.
little encounter. They're like the sword elites. Oh my god, new enemy!
Bugs! Come on,
So-
you apes, you want to live forever? Oh wait, you hate that movie.
Halo 2 introduces a couple new enemies. We saw, you know, obviously these are the drones here right now.
Yeah.
We saw the brutes in that cutscene, and they do so much work on just those two enemies to fill out the Covenant enemy roster.
Don't have much
We'll see
Yeah.
the brutes later. It'll be a while
Like-
till we see
yeah.
them.
Well, let's take a look at this bug on the elevator with us here while we wait
Yeah.
for him to go down. We kind of circumvented a combat encounter there, but don't worry about it. Check him out.
Pretty
He's a
cool
weird
looking.
bug man. Yeah, he's got like eye stalks,
Wings.
yeah.
They're basically like flying grunts,
Not
but they
a lot of time on
always
the clock.
appear in these big swarms, and
Yeah.
they're always just a really interesting little thing to throw at the player.
And on higher difficulties, they can really wallop you too.
Yeah.
The carriers are breaking
They
through,
can.
sir. They're heading straight for the Cairo. Cortana, concentrate your fire on the first carrier. Admiral,
Back
do what you can
outside?
against the second. Everyone,
And
form up,
events,
follow
by the
my
way,
lead.
are not static. You hearing this? Things are happening while we're moving, right? It's like we're being told, hey, the ongoing battle is progressing with or without us.
There's that thing happening. So, if it wasn't clear, this station is built around a giant
The
gun.
first carrier completely
Yeah.
ignored
Which
us,
is
sir.
incredible.
Flew through the Malta's debris
So it's a
field and
floating
headed
gun, is
straight
what you're
for
telling
Earth.
me.
Yeah, it's basically the A-10 Warthog, but in space and bigger. Oh no, I've been thrown all the way down here. That's a shame.
Oh dear.
I'll be right back with you.
So while he makes his way up, I want to quickly talk about lighting.
Sure.
So we talked about graphics. It's part of Halo's troubled development. So Halo 2 was going to have stencil shadowing,
Yes.
which by the time Halo was set to release was an obsolete lighting model. And it was also far too taxing for the original Xbox to do. with like any kind of respectable performance. So it was removed, or like it's still in. I think it's just like tuned way down.
That I'm not sure about. It's definitely not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not put in place as much as they wanted it to be.
Yeah, so there were technical issues in development.
Just
but
so you
hey,
know, there are quite a few elites guarding the
game is
bomb.
pretty.
You may need to get creative.
Look, we're getting music, setting us up, pump us up for this fight.
Yeah.
Like they're using the music better.
They are.
They're not just playing like an upbeat track as we walk through hallways, right?
No. So we're actually about to finish this level. So
yep.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and finish what we were saying. About done.
Next time.
With our conversation. So join us next time for the rest of beginning of the rest of Halo 2 as we get to more of a much better game.
Oh yes.
Meet inside your head now.
Oh, the armor's more advanced. You can just download her now.
Did he have permission
You don't want to know.
to take like
Cairo,
the station
this is
AI?
The carrier shield is down.
Probably
I'm in
not.
position and ready for immediate assault.
Negative, Commander. Not against a ship that size. Not on your own.
Sir,
Here it comes.
permission to leave the station.
For what purpose, Master Chief?
To give the Covenant back their bomb.
Permission granted.
I love it. It's so dumb.
Halo 2 definitely started the kind of deification of Master Chief, but, you know, this
Yes.
moment is pretty good. This is a good bit of problem solving.
I know what you're thinking, and it's crazy.
So, stay here.
Unfortunately for us both, I like crazy.
Personality from the Master Chief. Can you believe this?
Yeah. We're getting a slightly better understanding of him as a character, because he seems to have one this time.
Reckless idiot. I approve.
Also, you can kind of see Bungie has done a little more work
Just
to
one question.
design their own
What if you miss?
sorts of ships instead of just taking the Sulaco. So it's not really how depressurization works, but we'll let it slide.
Well, a lot more dumb action movie is seeping into the franchise.
Yeah.
In a good way, by the way. So yeah, the Covenant ships, they're more rounded than before.
They've definitely done a lot more to establish their own obvious art style rather than just cribbing from other material. And this is a great intro level. This is way better than.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I keep saying this is way better than the Pillar Bottom. It's just more's happening. It's tighter. It's faster. It's just good.
The cutscene direction. We're getting more cutscenes. Don't ask about the physics of how that works.
It's fine. Probably.
Alright, so we'll see you in the next episode.
We will.
For a brick,
I look forward
you
to
do
it.
pretty good.
Chief, get inside. Gear up. We're taking this fight to the surface.